Let's discuss the question number 42 from test 3, and the topic is theory of machines. So this is one of the match the following question. So the list 1 is given where you have the kinematic pairs, and list 2 is sort of an application of these or the practical examples of these pairs. So let's just draw what is given in the list 2, and then we can map it to. So let me write down the question first. The sliding pair is there, and you have the revolute pair. I'm not writing the pair here, so I'm just writing the words rolling, and the D is your spherical pair. Okay, the spherical pair. Okay, so the practical examples are a road roller is there, then you have the crankshaft in journal bearing, and then you have the ball and the socket joint, and then you have the piston and the cylinder, and then you have the nut and the screw. So we need to map the correct one. So let me just draw each of these practical example. A road roller is something like this. This is a road and it rolls. Okay, so this is your road roller, and the crankshaft in a journal bearing is something like this. You have the shaft and you have the bearing here, and you have the shaft. Okay, and then next is the ball and the socket joint is something like your fountain pen. In big offices you might be using. I mean, suppose if you would have visited a doctor's clinic or something, so this pen is something which you can rotate about this point in all the 3 directions. All the 3 things are allowed. Something like a fountain pen, a hinge chair. So this mostly you'll find near the doctor's desk or some high profile office. And the piston and the cylinder is basically you have a piston and you have a cylinder, something like an IC engine. And the nut and the screw, well, we'll find a lot of examples between nut and the screw. So you have a threaded body, something like this, and you have the bolt. Okay, so now this is, so the roller here moves, I mean it translates as well as it rotates. So basically it's rolling and no slipping. I mean there is hardly any slipping. I assume that there is no slipping here. So this is an example of directly we can see that C maps to 1. Now coming to shaft, so this is like a shaft rotates about the bearing center. The bearing is fixed. The shaft has because of some eccentricity, the shaft rotates about the bearing. So this forms an example of your revolute. Okay, and now coming to sliding pair, coming to this, so this is my spherical generally, because if you look at the design, the spherical pair is basically is this. So you can rotate about all the 3 degrees of rotations. All the 3 rotations are allowed about X, Y, Z. Only translation is not allowed. So spherical pair is the ball socket joint is an example of spherical pair. Now coming to the piston and the cylinder. Piston can only slide along the cylinder walls. It can't rotate. So that is just only this is permitted. Sliding is permitted, no rotation. So sliding pair is an example of. So nut and screw, there is no other, and there is no option given. So let's summarize our study. So C is 1, B is 2, A is 4, and D is 3. So starting with A is 4, B is 2, C is 1, D is 3. So this is, the option is D. Thank you.